Welcome to Singapore, the epicenter of crypto this week. We're here for Token 2049, the biggest gathering in the industry, with crowds flocking to the city for a whole week filled with excitement, featuring over 800 side events and of course the legendary Formula 1 street race. This is officially the world's largest crypto conferences. The leading voices in the industry are here. We saw Vitalik making headlines by singing on stage.
QE said and done, all your fiat inflate are beyond the sun. But no more, because now there's a better one.
And we saw Anatoly showcasing their new Solana mobile phone.
I have a prototype with me. Would you guys like to see it? With boots.
Arthur Hayes was sharing his thoughts on macroeconomics and current events to Brian Johnson, the longevity advocate making waves in our tech-savvy community. Formula 1 stars like Max Verstappen, Lando Norris and Sergio Perez took to the stage, drawing massive crowds. And here we kick off our action-packed week at Token 2049 with the Sui Builder House, beginning with an interview featuring Adeniyi, Abiodun, the co-founder of Mysten Labs. So, I know Sui is obviously a very exciting project. There's lots of great developers and great projects being built on it, but there's a lot of competition. Ton is massive. They've got 900 million users on Telegram. Base, everyone's talking about had a great on-chain summer. And obviously Solana, has been big since 2021. How does Sui differentiate itself between those different layers?
Yeah, Sui isn't just a blockchain. Sui is a global coordination layer for the internet. So our target addressable market is way bigger than Solana, Ton, and all these other platforms. And separately, our technology is in a different league. So Sui doesn't have a maximum throughput. So Sui can do, in a minimal configuration, a mainnet can do over 290,000 transactions per second. You had 8 times the hardware, you get 8 times the throughput, no increase in latency. Transactions on Sui are already half a second in finality. It's already the fastest by an order of magnitude. So Sui is already built for scale now. It's not promising scale in 2, 3, 4, 5 years or a window that never exists. So in terms of the technology stack, it's already way advanced of its competitors. And separately, Sui is competing with Google, Amazon, and other stacks for agreement. What we're not saying is that everybody's going to take their data and move it onto the blockchain. We think there'll be a subset of use cases where you need finality and you need coordination, and Sui is going to be there just to take that opportunity out of the hands of the big incumbents there.
Something that I'm really excited about is the Sui Play OX1. As a gamer, it looks great. I've already put my pre-order in. I think you're around 2,000 at the moment, right?
Yes.
What is the end goal for that? Like, how many handheld devices are you aiming to sell?
So the Sui Play OX1, if you imagine what Google has the Android OS, and then it releases a Pixel device as a marquee flagship device that everyone runs after. Yeah. It's the same thing with the Sui Play for us. The Sui Play will be the flagship hardware. It will be great price, amazingly good hardware with a world-class operating system. And the operating system, the Playtron OS, is going to be on multiple devices. We hope people build many types of handheld devices. The great thing about the operating system is it's deeply integrated with the Sui ecosystem. So your wallet will be a Sui wallet. The ability to transact will be very, very low. You have the ability to use digital currency within apps. We announced Square Enix partnership recently where you're able to buy games such as Final Fantasy or other compatible games on the Sui Play OX1. So you benefit from the flexibility and the low cost of Sui, and without throwing wallets and crypto in people's faces. So I think you have Sui wallets where gaming is going to go. And I think our view is by 2030, the majority of games will have wallet integration. And we think Sui will have by far the most amount of wallets than any other ecosystem in the world. I think gaming by far is going to drive DeFi up to a level it's never seen before. And that's the stuff that matters. I think DeFi isn't a product, DeFi is infrastructure. And crypto stops short when it treats DeFi as a product. So I think we want to get to a world where DeFi is really a piece of infrastructure that powers, billions of dollars, billions of users, applications that they use on a day-to-day basis. So I think if I had to summarize it, the narrative needs to be actual real users at scale, operating in the Web3 ecosystem, using real money to do commerce and gaming at a scale that they've never seen before.
Okay, well, look, Adeniyi, thank you so much for your time. I know you've got a keynote speech coming up. Let's just wrap this up with, if you could describe Sui in 3 words, what would it be?
The best platform in the world.
Oh, best platform in the world. Well, thank you, Adeniyi. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Hey, guys, we are here at the Sui Builder House in Singapore for Token 2049. This morning, I had the pleasure to speak to Adeniyi, the co-founder of Mysten Labs. We're going to go check out inside, speak to a few projects building on Sui, and see what all the hype's about. Come join me inside. Sui is on everybody's lips and is no doubt one of the hottest ecosystems at the moment. The Sui Builder House was buzzing with exciting announcements, fun-filled activities, and endless conversations among community members and key industry leaders. Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, announced USDC, one of the most trusted and transparent digital dollars, is coming to the Sui blockchain.
Mysten Labs and Circle announced that USDC is coming to Sui.
The future of decentralized storage took a big step forward with the release of the Walrus white paper and the upcoming launch of the Wall token. Walrus is positioning itself to be the go-to decentralized storage solution, offering cost-effective, scalable, and programmable storage, reinforcing Sui's position to be the global coordination layer. Decrypt, one of the largest Web3 media companies in the world, will be storing all of their content on Walrus. DeLorean Labs is building on Sui, creating NFTs that represent build slots for the new DeLorean EV, granting the flexibility to the owners to interact with and even trade their DeLorean build slot. One Championship, a combat sports media leader, is bringing their fan engagement into the Web3 era by building on Sui. The energy at Sui Builder House was amazing, with tons of interesting projects showcasing their developments on the Sui ecosystem. During the event, we got a chance to interact with some of the projects building on Sui, such as Lumiwave and ARTTOO.
Hey guys, we're here at Sui Builder House. The energy is amazing. There's so many great projects here building on Sui, and I've just found Lumiwave and I found Chang. So what is Lumiwave?
Lumiwave is Web3 gaming company, and we are going to launch our game called Samurai Showdown R. It was launched in Web 2, but we revived it into Web 3 with using dynamic NFT, which is Sui's technology. So we are excited for it.
So why did you choose Sui to build on?
We found out that Sui has better to reduce latency, so we choose Sui to use it.
Okay.
We are satisfied.
Okay, so where can people find out more about Lumiwave?
On Twitter, you can type Lumiwave /lab.
Okay, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. So we just had a great chat with Adeniyi from Mysten Labs earlier today, and now I'm speaking to a number of projects building on Sui, and obviously I've come across ARTTOO. So tell us, what is ARTTOO?
So basically what ARTTOO is doing, we are building the financial infrastructure for art investment. Besides of the tokenization services, which many of you might have imagined with art, we also do the actual trading. So the actual trading marketplace, the exchange, for all of the artworks. So for example, for each individual artwork, we're gonna have an artwork token, and then people, that's to use it to show the ownership of the art. But the nature of the token is more or less like a future, because we're gonna hold the artwork for 3 to 10 years, and after after a certain period of time, which we can consider as maturity, and then we can just sell it, and then you use your token, to pledge to redeem for your returns.
Where can we learn more about ARTTOO?
Yes, so please join us at our Twitter, which is ARTTOO Network. Also, our website is launching later today.
Oh wow, today?
After the speech, yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great meeting you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving on to one of the most awaited events of the week, our EAK VIP KOL and C-Suite Super Yacht Party. We hosted some of the top KOLs and C-Suites in the whole industry to our yacht party, including the likes of Ran from Crypto Banter, Lark Davis, Aaron and Austin from Altcoin Daily, Peter from House of Crypto, Clement Chia from Imagining Ones, and over 80 plus more reputable folks in the industry got together under the EAK VIP Super Yacht, and it was a blast. One thing about Singapore is it was hot. So, whilst everyone was down the stairs networking and having drinks, I took my friends up to the top deck for a few words with my good friends Altcoin Daily and Lark Davis.
Like the question is, in 2025, if that's the year, which it seems like a lot of things are lining up where Bitcoin fully breaks all-time highs, the question is, how high can it go, right?
Right.
And first of all, if any of us knew the future, we'd all be rich. But that being said, it's our job to kind of speculate on what we think is going to happen. To me, I think it's incredibly obvious, first of all, that Bitcoin is going to clear $100,000. Some people don't even say, they're questioning, if Kamala gets into office, some people are saying, it's only going to this much. well, I'm not trying to get political, but to me, no matter what happens, it's obvious that Bitcoin will hit 100K in 2025. And then, of course, it's the big question. How high does it go after that? Erhan.
Come on, give me a number. Come on.
I'll give you a number. I know what it takes to get views, Erhan. Guys, everybody like the video. And if you notice people walking behind us, it's the hustle and bustle of a great event by EAK Digital.
Don't just like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, for sure.
You know the drill.
So yeah, I think $100,000 is obvious. I think once it hits that, we will see a lot of volatility. It'll probably dip below and people say, oh, 100K was the top. I think Bitcoin could get to $140,000 in 2025. And we really have to, this is why it's so important to follow channels like Erhan's and Altcoin Daily, because we have to change our minds as new information comes in. The fact is, I'm expecting countries like Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia to announce that they're buying Bitcoin. They're huge gold owners, and these different things where we don't know if they're going to announce it this year, next year, the year after. And things like that, if Trump gets elected or a pro-crypto president, these are really huge factors we have to consider. I think 100K is locked in. Again, not financial advice, anything can happen.
I remember people said that in 2021.
and that's Erhan, that's so true. Everybody said 100K is happening in 2021. It didn't happen, but I feel like so many people are scared to say it this time when the fundamentals are so different. The Bitcoin price is the exact same as almost the top of 2021. In my opinion, it's de-risked. BlackRock is in. It's institutionalized. Now it's a U.S. election issue. It's the same price, except it's de-risked. I mean, I would say 140K is the number I'm kind of looking at, but I'm going to continue to update my opinion. Maybe it only gets to 110K. Some people are saying 200K, and things could get crazy. That is true. I would say 100K is the first milestone. It'll dip, and then hopefully it reclaims it, and then it's like a big question mark. How high does it go after that? 120K, 140K, basically 140K. I'm just going to put it out there. It's my base case. 100K is my bear case, and then my bull case, probably 160K plus.
Okay, well, look, obviously a lot of people watch your channel because they need the advice. They want to know what they should be doing with their coin. They don't have the inside knowledge that you guys have. You've been in the market for so long. So, okay, so let's say 140K is your number for the top. How would you sell into that and make sure you return the best profits for you?
That's the question. And everybody's financial situation is different. It's called personal finance for a reason. What I'm doing is vastly different from what other people are doing. And for everybody's different, but just kind of general best practice advice, when to sell, how do you know how much to sell? When I'm going into Bitcoin, I cost average. Some people cost average every 2 weeks or whatever it is, a set amount of time. I try and be a little bit sharper with my cost averaging. Every time I see there's a major 30% correction, I buy more. And that's kind of the way I do it when I cost average out or sell in increments out. So when Bitcoin hits 100K, and I've been in Bitcoin and crypto a long time, and Bitcoin's gone up since the bottom of the bear market, I'm going to sell a little bit. If it gets to 110, 115K, sell a little bit more. And every increment up, I'm selling a little bit more. It's not that I'm bearish on the asset class. It's just we know that the bottom of this cycle was 15, 16, 17K. Yeah. And so it's gone up a lot. And so I try and cost average out, or however you'd call it.
Well, look, Aaron, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure I would love to talk to you more, but I'm sure you want to chat to everyone down the stairs and enjoy yourself. So
Erhan, this is a great event. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having us. Great being connected to you. And I encourage everybody to not only subscribe to Erhan's YouTube channel and Twitter from the Altcoin Daily audience. I just think this guy's a good guy to know.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Yeah, dude. Cheers.
Every market, they say it rhymes, but it's not the same.
Sure.
So if we stay on that narrative that it's going to rhyme, where are we looking at? Get out your crystal ball. Where are we going in this cycle? How is it going to surprise people?
Sure. Look, no cycle is ever the same, right? As we obviously know. A lot of great factors working for a good Q4 for Bitcoin.
Don't forget the elections.
The elections as well. As long as somebody doesn't get shot between now and then, then things should be pretty okay. Yeah. And if Trump wins, obviously that provides a very bullish narrative for crypto, because you got to remember, I know people get all triggered about politics and stuff like this, but you just have to look, there's a very stark contrast between the two candidates right now in America. Trump massively pro-crypto. He's got JD Vance, who literally owns Bitcoin. RFK Jr. supporting him. He owns Bitcoin. Tulsi Gabbard owns Bitcoin. He's launching his own DeFi protocol. The dude's been selling NFTs for years. He owns Ethereum. I mean, the former president of the United States, probably likely next president of the United States, literally owns Ethereum and sells NFTs and launching a DeFi protocol. Come on, people.
It's wild, yeah. It's wild.
I could see a major cycle peak coming in like, let's say March or April of 2025. And that might be at like 150K, for example. And that's when everyone gets say we're bullish, so we're going to 500K.
For example, what is your market top for Bitcoin in your crystal ball?
So I think the highest we could likely go this cycle is around maybe $215,000.
Okay.
You must be joking.
Maybe that like one day where we get up to like 250K for like 2 seconds, something like that. That's a possible.
I like the sound of that. You're mega bullish.
Top.
I mean, I spoke to Aaron from Altcoin Daily. He was saying 140. So you're pretty wildly bullish compared to that.
When we go up to about 100K Bitcoin, I'm probably going to take some, maybe a quarter or a third of my altcoins off the table, right? If we go up to 150K.
Just the altcoins, not any Bitcoin.
No, not the Bitcoin. 150K, take a third of the altcoins off the table again. If we get up to 200K, sell everything else.
Copy that.
You mentioned Solana, so let's move into the altcoin sector. So obviously, like, there's a lot of bullishness on Ton, there's a lot of bullishness on Base, there's a little bit of bullishness on Sui as well.
Yep.
Outside of Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, which ecosystems are you most excited about and why?
I really love the Avalanche ecosystem. I think it's
Avalanche.
Yeah, we've seen huge amounts. And look, there's a lot of great narratives for like Phantom, and they have their upcoming Sonic upgrade. Very interesting stuff going on there. The Telegram network, obviously very interesting. But I like Avalanche. I got a big bag of. Yeah, I've got a big bag of Avalanche, and they've been doing a lot of cool stuff. They've got gaming, they've got real world assets, they've got all these things, and like you look at the amount of stuff that they're delivering, it's actually really big. And I feel like to an extent they just haven't got that wild hype that like Solana and stuff has got, but they're definitely building in the right direction. So I think they could be. I know they're like a top 20 coin, so it's not exactly like a sleeping giant or anything, but in terms of maybe a better risk reward than buying Solana right now, probably Avalanche would be something to look at. That's pretty good, right? Yeah. And they've got a burn mechanism. Yeah. So that also helps. And they've got all these new layer ones launching. So these sort of, I think these call them subnets, now they're calling layer ones. Yeah. And so these are all launching and they're all creating new on-chain activity, which is burning more AVAX. So, you know, it's got good tokenomics, I would say.
Thanks so much for joining us on this epic Token 2049 experience. We're on the EAK VIP boat. And yeah, I'll see you next time on EAK TV. The EAK VIP KOL Yacht Party was no doubt the #1 KOL event of the Token 2049 week in Singapore, bringing together an incredible set of individuals for a memorable afternoon, even with over 50 other events happening all at the same time. And we can't wait to host another super yacht party coming soon. After the successful yacht party, I headed back to Marina Bay Sands to meet my good old buddy Ivan on Tech. And we had an amazing discussion about AI, meme coins, his insights on the bull run, recent updates on Morales, and so much more. Every cycle we see diminishing returns. Yeah. But every cycle they say it rhymes, but it's not the same. You know, because, you know, I mean, you say I've been in a long time, but, you know, I was one of those guys that fell for the 100K narrative last bull run. Did you fall for that, by the way?
I mean, I think everyone did. I think everyone did.
Even you?
In their own. It's all about, because you don't know where the top is. It's all about when you realize that the momentum has shifted. So it's okay to fall for the 1 million narrative. As long as you understand that, again, there are different ways to see momentum. There are different
million narrative.
Sorry,
you said million narrative.
Yeah, million narrative is here also.
A million?
But 100K narrative, million K.
I'm on board for
million. We can discuss that.
But estimate, because you know, Aaron from Altcoin Daily, Lark, they also did it. They estimated the Bitcoin price all-time high this bull run. So you have to give me a number.
If I'm to guess, let's say we go to 200. I would say 235 this cycle.
Bullish.
No, it's bullish.
That's very bullish. That's always bullish, to be honest with you.
He's a bit bullish.
I mean, that's where
235. Actually, that's the most bullish out of Lark and Altcoin Daily. So Altcoin Daily said 140K, so it's a little bit bearish. And Lark said I think it was 215-ish. So
he's gonna pump, guys.
You're gigable.
I think he's gonna pump.
Okay, but then what about the market cycle? I mean, you know, like I said, 6 months chop. Like, when would you start thinking, okay, we should start taking profits, start getting out? Like, when are we gonna drop? Obviously, you don't know, right? But like your best knowledge, that's what the people want to know.
I think that's a very personal strategy that everyone needs to develop. I mean, one strategy is that you take a bit out every 50%. You have an asset that pumps 50%. Maybe you take out 20% of your total amount. Because no one knows where the top is. So it's more that you have to ladder out, both on the way up or both on the way up and down or just on the way down. You have to choose that yourself. I mean, for me, I'm mainly looking when the trend will shift after the peak. And that's my strategy, because even if you're super careful, you're taking profit, you can still 10x afterwards, especially in altcoins. Bitcoin probably not going to 10x after you take profit, but it could still do another 100%. The most gains are in the last few weeks of the bull market. Whether you look at 2017 or 2021, it's the last few weeks are key. So it's impossible to predict.
I'm really interested about is like which of the L1s or L2s that like are drastically different in the tech that you actually think has something.
Yeah.
What are they?
In a way, you can say Cardano is guessing there a bit with their latest meme factory. They're trying to get it, but it's tough for Cardano because there are no real stable coins that are big. There are no real bridges. So in reality, the question is there a lot of room to compete with Solana? Because it's already cheap. Like, what else can we do that an L1 can offer that we don't have yet? It's big community that you need, and it needs to be cheap. So there is an argument to be made that to compete with Solana now is maybe 10 times more difficult than it was for Solana to compete with ETH, because now to beat Solana, not only do you have to be cheap, you have to be 10 times better in some way. Probably the next innovation is going to be via the app layer, because infra is good enough. I mean, we have all the infra, but we also see that devs mainly use a few L2s. It's a massive concentration in Solana, in ETH. Still, Polygon is used a lot, although the price is not really reflecting that. But that's probably because of tokenomic change that they did with the Pol, Matic to Pol. Binance Chain still used a lot by devs. And then you have all of the other L2s. It's really this long tail. But you have ETH, Solana, ETH, and then everything is becoming a massive long tail. So I think that it's time for the app layer to start amassing value. Maybe some of the games that are building, maybe all of the DEXs that can really develop into fully fledged financial service applications. And
thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure for you to be here. Thanks for being with us.
Awesome.
Okay, enjoy Token 2049. Hey guys, we are back. Today is day one of the main conference of Token 2049 at Marina Bay Sands. It is buzzing with energy, bringing together all of the enthusiastic innovators, thought leaders, industry giants, all eager to share and showcase their latest projects and companies. From groundbreaking developments to insightful panel discussions on the future of Web3, the event was a hub for networking, learning, and exploring emerging trends. Walking around the exhibition floor, I bumped into another old friend of mine, Michael from Boxmining.
All right, so what are you bullish on right now in this bull market?
Oh, I am bullish on Bitcoin ecosystem.
Outside of Bitcoin?
Okay, why? It's because there's so much money that's untapped. We're talking about the analogy between tortoise and the hare. Ethereum moves fast, but it's carrying like just ETH. Bitcoin moves slow, but it's carrying Bitcoin. Think about activating trillions of dollars rather than activating millions.
Coinbase just did that with their DeFi Bitcoin thing.
There's still a lot to do, right? Think about Bitcoin dominance is still at 40%. If you can capture 20% of that 40%, holy shit, you're in for a lot of money. So I feel like there's a huge play, and because Bitcoin is so backward, I think about it, all the Bitcoin tech is so backward. They just started with ordinals, like they're just starting with DeFi. So that's why I feel like there's opportunity to like blow the fuck up from there.
Yeah,
we'll see.
How do you see this cycle developing? Where do you think we're going to top out on the Bitcoin price? And like, how far do you think we're going to go before we hit the top, like in terms of like length of time?
You actually see us going almost up to 300K for Bitcoin.
Oh, 300K. That's the biggest out of any influencer that I've asked.
I'm pretty optimistic because like when shit goes crazy, it goes fucking crazy. I got in 2012. I started mining, and back in the day, they were shitting on me and saying I was mining like less than $3 a day. They're like, oh, you can pick up cans from the street and it's better. But how much was that? That's 0.3 Bitcoin per day. And if I kept it,
Oh, you sold it?
I sold it, of course. That was my first lesson in Bitcoin. I don't want to do the math. I don't want to. Think about it, 0.3 Bitcoin a day.
You'll be needing that rec drink you showed me earlier.
Oh. So I learned that there's a lot of value in hodling. That's still the OG Bitcoin way, and
All right. So look, any predictions for this bull run in terms of the major narratives? Like obviously people talk about AI, real world assets, gaming. You can rattle them off. Everyone's saying the same thing. But if you had to put your money in one narrative where you think is going to do the best, give the best return, what would it be?
Memes. I'm sorry, guys. Like I looked at the next generation. They don't want value. They don't want to change the world. They just want to have a good time fun. So I think memes, it's going to dry up and then it's going to just pop back up again.
Where are you putting your bets for this bull market to get the maximum return? Which projects are you buying with that 20 grand?
Wow. 10K, I'll buy shitcoins. Go click on YouTube and there's a bunch of shitcoins and you buy those.
On Boxmining, right?
Of course. Okay, and then the next 10K, I'll play with airdrops. I still feel like airdrops is a good way to grow the community. So there's a lot of stuff like BS stuff that you have like, oh, let's do some transactions. You got to put some shit on Ton. I'll do that because that's where you can get to like some like crazy airdrops. So I feel like that's where like you can make some good gains, right? That's where you cover your foundation.
All right. Well, look, you heard it from here himself. Thank you, Michael Boxmining, joining me. I'll see you at the party tonight.
I had such a blast at the event. There was also fun things to do if you fancied a little game of Mario Kart. If you wanted to play some paddle, they even had a paddle court inside of Token 2049, guys. There was boxing, there was all sorts going on, so there was never a dull moment at Token 2049. In the evening, we had a very special event that goes by the name of Karate Combat.
Hey guys, what is going on? We're here at Marina Bay Sands. It is the evening of day one of Token 2049, and we are here at Karate Combat 49 Singapore. Karate Combat is crypto's first ever sport, and come join me. Let's go see what's going on.
There was Mario, there was Scott Melker, there was a lot of KOLs ringside, live commentating on the action, and that's a wrap on those epic Karate Combat fights. It was a brilliant performance from those wrestlers, and now we're shifting gears from the dojo to the dance floor. In Singapore, one of, if not the most famous nightclub is a nightclub called Marquee. Marquee can host over 8,000 attendees. It is a huge nightclub, and they were doing a night with none other headliner than Steve Aoki himself, headlining Move with Sui at Marquee, giving attendees a night to remember. Let's dive into the after hours fun. Okay guys, well look, I'm all partied out for today. The party's all wrapped up and I'm going to be gearing up for a big day tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll be hosting a panel at the Hack Seasons conference with some of Asia's biggest investment giants. Then catching day 2 of Token 2049 with top speakers like Anatoly from Solana and Sandeep from Polygon, and soaking in all the excitement at the booth. Plus, I've got interviews lined up with Sonia, the president of CoinW, and Peter from House of Crypto. And of course, I can't forget the thrilling after party that is hosted by, once again, CoinW. It's going to be an action-packed day, so I'll see you on the other side. I kicked off my day moderating a panel at the Hack Seasons conference alongside some of Asia's leading investment figures, including Jenny from Animoca Brands and Jonathan for Hashkey Group.
So I'm going to be moderating the panel. I've got some amazing panelists, some of the biggest VCs in Asia and globally. So without further ado, please welcome my panelists on the stage.
Our discussion focused on how VCs in Asia are approaching investments after the highs and lows of 2021, especially in the light of the recent disappointing price action from new project launches. While many VCs are taking a more cautious stance, they remain confident in the key narratives driving this cycle, and we delved into which narratives they're most bullish on. It was an epic panel. We got some amazing insights from some of the leading VCs in Asia. That's a wrap on the Hack Seasons conference, guys. We're heading back to the main event in Marina Bay Sands. I was walking through the exhibition floor on day 2 of Token 2049, and I bumped into my good friend Sonia, the president of CoinW.
So as an exchange, you obviously have access to a lot of data, which I'd love it. But based on your best knowledge of the industry and what you're seeing with the data and CoinW, and I'm sure you get information from everywhere, how long do you think this bull run is going to last? And what price do you think Bitcoin is going to top out at?
Very spicy question. I know, like maybe later, like a year later, it's like you're wrong. But I will definitely give my take on this. So I always look at things from number perspective, like a general macroeconomic perspective. Because in the last 2 years, if you look at it, we have been in the really tight monetary era of last 50 years. Like the rates was the highest in the last 40 years. So which means it was the tightest liquidity situation condition in the market. And then, of course, giving all these other conditions of economy. So. And then and also quite a lot of things happening in our industry took a lot of liquidity away and a lot of confidence away. So now we are actually turning point of the whole macroeconomic changing, and then slowly money gonna flow into more riskier assets. When the safer assets rate, like return is getting lower and lower, and of course the money gonna flow into better assets and more risk averse. I think it's definitely going up. If you're asking me about the price, I would say by the end of the year, next year, not this year, 2025, conservatively, I would say Bitcoin at 120.
So you think the bull run is going to keep going all that way, and it's only going to hit 120?
No, I don't think it will top at that 120, but I can see 120 happening, because if you look at the process of the money flowing, it starts from easing of the rate, start reducing, and then you will see from now like 4-point-something% slowly to 3% to 2%. When the rate is so close to inflation rate, all the money, especially smart money, going to start flowing. So it's not an instant catalyst like boom, you see the price, but it's a process of smart money start moving when they realize that the absolute return of their asset is not really making sense when they're putting in, other investments. So I think double Bitcoin price now in a year is quite easy to achieve. So
okay, but what are we topping out at?
200K.
200K. Okay, 200K is about right. So you think the bull market's going to last at least another year, or more than a year?
I think it should go as the monetary policy goes, which is the rate ease in the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, so you're pretty bullish on a long cycle.
Yes.
All right, Sonia, thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. See you later.
Then I ran into Peter from House of Crypto.
So Peter, what's going on? Obviously, your channel's been blowing up recently on YouTube. You've been making some great content. Like, how is this bull market going for you so far?
It's a mixed emotions, I think, for many when it comes to this bull market. Obviously, the crypto channel's been growing, which has been great. I went through like a long period of time throughout the last bear market into this bull market, which allowed me to kind of double down on my kind of production skills and double down on my content and understand more about the crypto markets.
Okay, so based on your experience, how far along do you think, how much more of a bull market do we have left? How far do you think we're going to go into 2025? And what do you think Bitcoin tops out at?
The drivers behind the bull market are predominantly liquidity. It's quite closely linked to this kind of 4-year cycle of liquidity. And basically what happens during that period of time, governments are trying to ease the development, trying to sort of develop at periods of time aggressively, but then this causes shortages of money. That's why we get heavy inflation. Heavy inflation is bad. Then we have interest rates that come in. You get quantitative tightening. And it goes through this kind of tightening and easing process all the time. Now, this is a very important bull market year because it comes at the end of the 18.5-year housing market cycle, which is a huge, massive deal because it's the blow-off top, if you like, of the global economy. So you're likely going to have a probably pretty painful 2027, 2028, similar to what we saw in 2007. So, let's wrap that all up. I think next year should be a very strong year towards 2026. I say 2026 will probably be the most, blow off top year, but I like to start thinking I'm going to be getting out of my positions through latter stages of 2025 when everyone else is aping in, because that's ultimately got to try and think a bit differently from what everyone else is doing. Try and start pulling up profits earlier. We both talked about this the other day. It's better to be taking money out and keep shoveling it in.
And the price for Bitcoin top?
Tough one. My bear case will be around $135,000, which I think is relatively conservative compared to some of the estimations I've seen out there. I say a bull case, 175 to 200, absolute blow off top, but I would like to be proven wrong. So yeah.
We had Boxmining said 300K. I think Lark said around 230. Altcoin Daily was also in the 200 mark. So it's just relative conservative, even your top number.
I think that's a very important note. All of us are different people. We all have a lot of time watching crypto, but we all have completely different opinions. And that goes to show that no one has a clue about where it's going. And because no one has a clue, you need to be kind of considering other market indicators when a top is near. Because aiming for 200K or 300K, if it never happens, then you get stuck.
All right, look, any final words that you've got for our audience that they can take away that makes them make the most out of this bull market? Snappy, keep it snappy.
I think quantifying your opportunity, looking at the potential that is in front of you right now, you have a huge opportunity to be able to change the game for yourself, your family, etc. All you got to do is player versus player, put in the work, and you will never regret it, I think. So do your best, try and up your skills. You're never going to regret that.
That's it, guys. You heard it from the man himself, House of Crypto. Peter, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
See you next time.
Take care.
Thank you. See ya.
Exploring the heart of Token 2049, I bumped into the man, the myth behind Shiba Inu, Satoshi Kusama. I finally took the plunge and decided to climb the bull market. But hold on, before you make your move, you actually have to sign a contract. That's right, in case of a rug pull, they won't be held responsible. It's a wild world out there, guys. The crypto industry has come a long way, but I've also seen our fair share of coordinated rug pulls. So just another reminder to always be cautious and ready for anything in this exhilarating space. But guess what? I made it to the top. So I've finally got my hands on the highly anticipated Degen box. Let's see what surprises await inside. Wait, what? Absolutely nothing. Classic Degen move.
What does it say? This is your invite code for the exclusive access to purchase one Air Money device. So
guess that's part of the thrill in this space. Sometimes you win big and sometimes, well, it's all just part of the game. I wrapped up an incredible day 2 at Token 2049 with the unforgettable CoinW party. CoinW hosts some of the best parties around the world. If you haven't been to one, do get to one. The atmosphere was electric, filled with vibrant energy and excitement. It was a fantastic opportunity once again to connect with fellow enthusiasts, industry leaders and of course influencers. The CoinW party truly encapsulated the spirit of the event, making it the perfect way to end another amazing day at Token 2049. As we wrap up Token 2049, it's clear that this community is not just shaping the future of finance, but it's shaping the future of culture. It's clear from Token 2049 that the meme coin mania is not going to stop. The vibrancy of the space is so large and so big, it is only a matter of time before we see huge heights once again for this 4-year cycle. Thanks everyone for joining me, and I'll see you next year at Token 2049 in Dubai.